Again, we're trying to use a variety of techniques, and looking at it, I'm going to look at, if I tried the zero product rule, I'd have a tough time factoring it using finger numbers. Right now, if I tried completing a square, I'd have a tough time doing that because 3, when divided by 2 is a fraction, and that would make it more difficult for me. So what I want to do is I want to use the quadratic formula. And let me write that down for you. The quadratic formula, ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. And the solution to that using quadratic formula, let's take a look. It's a quadratic equation. It's twice the a, the opposite of the b, plus or minus. It's complicated. And what do you get over here? B squared minus 4ac. Well, I'm looking at this thing, and I got to get it in that form, and then identify the a, the b, and the c. Let me get in the form first. I'm going to say it's 1x squared plus 3 times x, and then minus a 14. And that equals 0. So I'm going to identify the a in the problem. The a is 1. I'm going to identify the b in the problem. The b is 3. And I'm going to identify the c in the problem. And I want to point out it's plus, so it has to be plus minus 14. So this c is going to be minus 14. What do I do now? Write it down. X equals. I like to start in the bottom because it's probably the easiest thing for me to do. And what's twice a? It's just the number 2. Then I go to the top, and kind of one thing at a time. What am I looking at? Minus, whoops, sorry about it. I'm looking at minus b. Right, what's minus b? It's minus 3. Plus or minus. I get this nightmarish looking root thing, and I got to go through that with you. All right? So what goes there? Well, the first thing that goes there is going to be the b squared. Well, what's b when squared? It's just simply the number 9. Then it's going to be minus. I want to write this down for you, though, on the side. It's 4 times the a. What's the a? The a is 1 times the c, which is minus 14. All right? So I'm going to do that. 4 times 1 is 4, and 4 times minus 14, well, it's going to be a negative number, and I'm going to get 40 and 16 is 56. Now I'm going to go back over here and plug it in, but now I'm seeing a minus of minus 56, and that would be plus 56. If a student makes an error, it's most likely going to be done over here somewhere. And the reason that there's arithmetic there, and that's where errors pop up. Right, let me put this down for you, though. X equals minus 3 plus or minus. I'm going to do this root thing again. That's called the radicand. 9 plus 56, the radicand. What do you get there? Well, let's see. It looks like 65, right? Okay. My recommendation is also to look at 65 and wonder, do you know it's square root? You don't know what's square root, by the way. And someone says, well, what if it contains a perfect square? Well, if you looked at 65, I hope you realize that at least 5 is in 65. And 5 goes into 65 13 times. And why is that? 10 times 13 is 65. It would be 50 and 15. So it doesn't contain a perfect square. So this would be my answer. All right? Okay, I'm always saying about checking, and I think checking can be done. I'm not saying it can't be done. What I'm going to claim over here is that when you're studying, probably looking at an answer key might be helpful. All right? So I want to point out the solution. Let's see if I have that written down. Now, someone says it's written differently. I'm going to try to write these a little differently. All right? So what I'm going to do is, kind of looking at it, I'm going to write it as x equals, and I'm going to factor out a minus sign on it. And what would you get if I factor out a minus sign from the top? You get 3, then you get minus plus root 65 over 2. I'm going to write the two separate answers down now. It's the opposite of 3 minus root 65 over 2. What's the other answer? Or x equals minus 3 plus root 65 over 2. And my suspicion the answer is going to be written this way, but let's take a look at it. By the way, this is also correct. I'm not saying it's not correct. I want to look at the answer now and see if we're matching them. Right, I'm seeing this minus, yep, I see that right over there. Do I see this one over here? Yep, I see it right over there. We're good. I notice they're also approximating them. There's no need to do that unless, of course, you're using a calculator and you want to approximate it. Thank you.